Yeah, it's been a congested schedule. So first and foremost is physical recovery from the game in Austin, very important for us. Um, and then on top of that, of course, anytime things don't go your way, you tend to analyze a little more. Um, and we did exactly that. We identified the mistakes. We worked on the mistakes in training, and we'll apply those in the match tomorrow against Houston. Um, Houston is a team who has also results-wise um, have not been positive of late, and they've been away for 2 games as well. So they for sure will be looking in this home game to become out with a strong mentality and try to keep the points there in Houston. So having that said, we're ready for a tight and tough match. We've made some corrections, and I'm really looking forward to seeing our team perform tomorrow night.
Steve, this is a question for our broadcast. If you could answer it into the camera, but with Gareth Bale making his first start and the arrival of the 2 new players, once it's a fully loaded team, how, with all these guys having different skill sets, how do you approach getting the most out of that group for each game for the remainder of the season moving forward?
It's a mix of gathering information from our training sessions, also matching up individual qualities we have with other players on the field, and also according to what's coming our way from the opponent. And so after we have all that information, we sit down and we discuss, and then we figure out which 11 players gives us the best opportunity to beat that opponent on that given day, according to those circumstances. And that's how we come to our decisions. And so far, it's worked out pretty well with a few speed bumps, but we're looking forward to the next challenge.
We'll take questions from Zoom, starting with Michele.
Thank you for yourself. Hi, Coach. Hope you're doing well. After watching the video, and you just mentioned that you guys know what to fix, what are those things that you want to see starting tomorrow?
I think I was pretty clear after the game in Austin. There was nothing tactical going on. It's very clear. Most teams, when they play against us, try to move the ball horizontally, and we know that it wasn't a big issue in Austin. The only thing that was wrong was our physical output, and you guys had really bad days. That's it. There's nothing more to analyze than that.
And if I may have another question, you don't have available Silvanga and Pello. Is there a point where it gets worrisome and you're running out of days to make them out of the team and the tactical system? Thank you.
I know that I've added a few wrinkles and some bags under the eyes this year, but it's not because I'm worried. It's because it's a long season, and I like to work so I get here bright and early. But we're not worried. No.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Josh Brooks.
Thanks. When you've seen Gareth and Carlos play together, what's been the effect on your counter pressing and that part of the field, and how do you see them working defensively up there? Thank you.
It's a positional thing. It also depends on the moment of the game. It depends on the opponent. There are many factors. So it's not as simple as saying when those two together this happens, and when they're not this happens. It completely depends on the moment. So it's a difficult question to answer. I would say at moments their qualities can give us certainly better passing, more possession, some better finishing, and sometimes that would mean maybe less ability to press. But it's give and take, and it completely depends on the opponent. So sometimes it's more effective, and sometimes it's less effective.
Just to follow up to that, you've been really clear on your expectation on Chicho and his defensive efforts. What's the expectation? Do you have one for Gareth, who's coming into the system and trying to get his fitness up? How active does he need to be there? Or is it game dependent, I guess?
It's also game depending, but certainly physical output and effort from every player needs to be at a level where we can win games, and no matter who that is. Everyone who puts on the LAFC jersey has a responsibility to go out and to win football games, as many as possible. And to do that, we have to run. And I'm 100% positive that everybody in our roster is capable of doing that.
Okay, thank you.
Josué Lopez.
Thank you, Crystal. Hi, Steve. Good afternoon. Thank you for your time as always. Not the result that you have on it lately. Just is it better to go through these mistakes and analyze them at this point of the season than later? I don't know. What do you think about that?
Possibly. We'll know more in 2 months, but possibly, yeah.
And wondering about you attackers. My highlights on that footer. So is Gareth and so is Carlos. Does it make a difference when you play them from the left and the right position of the attack? Is that different when you have a left-footed player?
It can. Depends on the player. If we just take Mahalo, for example, most of his goals and assists have come played on the left. And for Carlos, it's just the opposite. So it kind of depends on the player and their particular skill set. The important thing is for us to know where each player is most effective. We have our subjective opinions helping us with those ideas, but also some objective facts that we pull from each game. And we are well aware of where each player is most impactful for our team.
And there are no injuries to be worried about, right?
No, we are healthy.
Thank you and good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thanks, Josué. Last question from Benjamin Bergen.
Hi, Steve. It's been roughly 6 games since Sebas Mendes has joined the team. How have you seen his progress during this time, and what do you make of his integration to the team since he joined the club?
So integration to the team was very fast. He has some national team teammates here with him. So the integration was, and he obviously has been in the league for a while, so he knows most of the guys, and the guys know him. That was not a problem. Getting him involved in games, we did pretty early as well. I think that kind of evolves to try to find in our system with our players and the certain combinations where he's most effective for the group. Is always evolving, and we are still figuring that out. But he has been good. He's a player we can definitely rely on, and we trust, and that is the biggest and most important part of integrating new players.